Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at another of these 2019 Mojo Fun figures, and I'm kind of trying to move from my least favorite to my favorite, and that should give you a good idea of just how nice they all are, because I really like that Tropeognathus from the last 2019 Mojo Fun review. So this time we are going to go with their Triceratops. This is the brand new 2019 Mojo Fun Triceratops, and it is such a beauty of a Triceratops. Again, continuing to impress me and show you just how far Mojo Fun has come in the last few years and just how incredible their sculpting ability has become. This Mojo Fun Triceratops looks phenomenal in my opinion as far as the sculpt goes. As I turn it here, you can really see just how beautiful the sculpt is and just how in general realistic and nice looking the paint scheme is as well. It's not an overly flashy paint scheme. It's really honestly the type of look I would expect on a Triceratops. So they've done a great job overall on the appearance of the figure, but the only way to really tell how nice it is to get a view up close, so let's do that now. So if we start up here at the head sculpt, look how insanely beautiful this is. The detailing and sculpting of all the scales and everything all over the head is really impressive to me. And look at the beak. The beak is just jam-packed with detail, and they've hit it with a very nice dry brushing of like a light gray that helps to bring out that detail so well. And I think that they've done a very good job overall portraying the movement of the mouth throughout the entire area of the face, especially right in this general area. You can really see how beautifully done they have sculpted out the movement of the mouth right there with the way it's reacting in the face. So they've done a very good job overall on the very small fine details of the face area of this Triceratops. You can see the nostrils are really nicely sculpted there, as is that first horn, the kind of a nose horn on the Triceratops. And they did that same similar paint where they dry brushed a lighter coloration over it, but you can kind of see a mixture of browns and blacks throughout. Same deal with the beak of the Triceratops as well. So it gives it a very realistic look as far as skin tone. Well, I guess it wouldn't be skin tone on there, but color tone, body tone I should say. You can also see down here in the mouth that the tongue is like almost a reddish coloration and appears to have a bit of a gloss to it to give it a very realistic look as well. As we move up along the face of the Triceratops, you can again see that incredible sculpt work continues. Really beautiful detailing around the eye that looks very nice, and the eye is a solid black color and is glossed really nicely and really realistically. You can see as I'm turning it here, it does shine very nicely. So Mojo Fun's use of gloss on their figures is definitely very nice and has improved significantly. Look how nice that gloss is. Really gives the Triceratops such a very lifelike look. If you take a look here at the horns up here on the top of the head, you can again see just how beautiful they are. Lots of cracks and crevices all throughout the horns. And again, they are a mixture of that black and brown coloration with that light dry brushing done over the top to really make all the detail pop to you. I think without that dry brushing, it still would have looked nice, but that dry brushing really sets it over the top as far as beauty goes. So that was a great choice on the part of Mojo Fun. Then we look up here on the frill, and you can again see that the frill has incredible sculpt work just like you see everywhere else. The scaling overall just looks fantastic. All the scales appear to be different sizes and everything. They've done an incredible job on that, and they have a very nice, almost like a burnt umber brown that kind of stripes out in certain areas of it and then kind of runs along the rim of the frill. And I think they did a great job with that, really helping to elaborate that area and then giving the inside here of the frill a much lighter type of a coloration. And again, it makes it look very realistic but really beautiful and striking. And I also love that they've used a different coloration here on these little horns that run the rim of the frill, and it's kind of like a khaki type of a color, a very realistic choice, and they've just dry brushed it over, and it really helps to give that, again, a very nice look and a beautiful appearance as far as different coloration goes in the head. You can see this side of the head also looks beautiful. So they've done such an incredible job overall on the head sculpt of this Triceratops. There again, you can see the movement of the mouth, really nice wrinkling of the skin right there. As we start to lead into the neck, you can see all sorts of skin folding and skin wrinkling going on. It really shows how beautiful the movement is here as well, with the Triceratops turning its head to the right is really stretching the skin right there. I think that is really nice sculpt work as well. Even the back of the frill has a very nice appearance and really beautiful paint application. I love that they've hit it with that dark brown, that burnt umber up there on the top, and then it just gets lighter and then transitions pretty much to a darker color the closer you get to the neck. Really nicely done, even in an area that probably most people wouldn't take notice of, but Mojo Fun did not skimp out on the paint anywhere. As you start to lead down the back, you can see all sorts of osteoderms pick up and that very thick scaling. It just kind of gives you that feeling that this would just be a very, very hard-skinned animal, and I think that was the right choice on their part. You can see the shoulder blade protruding from the skin there a little bit. Nice wrinkling going on right there behind the leg as the leg is pushing back into the body, kind of bunching the skin up. You can see the nice musculature here of the front leg, and it really kind of gives you the feeling of the bone structure there. It really looks like there is just bones underneath the skin. Nicely sculpted foot, really beautiful as far as that goes. The nails are painted really nicely as well. Some more nice skin folds here, and you can see the skin stretching right here as the leg is pushing back. Really nicely done there as well. And they've done like this burnt umber brown up here on the top, but then dry brushed some black over it to really help all that detail pop and just make it a little bit darker. And I think that really looks phenomenal. The transition from that dark brown and black down into this lighter brown really looks very nice as well. Very realistic. As we take a look here at the rear leg, you can see some nice muscle tone right there. Beautiful calf muscles. As we move down the leg, again, the foot sculpt on this side just looks fantastic. Really, really beautiful. The overall appearance of the dinosaur and the positioning of the legs is just perfect in my opinion. And then you can run out the length of the tail. You can see all sorts of skin folding going on here, and then lots of wrinkling going on near the end of the tail as the tail is bent. Very, very nicely done there as well. If we take a look at the other side, you can really see the skin bunching up in the neck now because the Triceratops has its head turned in this direction. So the skin is really scrunched up right there and looks very nice. I love the many different tones of brown that they've used in the face. I did want to go back and state that. You can see like around the eye, they've hit it with like that dark brown, and then down here on the jawbone and the lower jawbone and everything, and it really gives it a beautiful appearance as far as skin tone goes. If you can take a look at this side again, the nice shoulder blade protruding from the skin, the leg, and the same deal as before. You can really get an idea of the bone structure on this side as well. Beautifully sculpted foot. Kind of appears as though maybe it was running and happened to notice a predator up ahead and just slammed on the brakes. That's kind of the feeling that I get when it comes to the overall sculpt, because both of these front legs are kind of pushed back into the body, so it really gives me the feeling like maybe it just tried to slam its brakes on really quick and stop before it reaches the predator, or maybe it happened to notice a predator approaching an area with some of the young of the Triceratops group, and it just decided to run up and then hit the brakes again. Very cool as far as the pose goes. That's something I don't really see too often. You can, again, as I turn it here, right here at the shoulder area or the base of the front leg, pick up on quite a bit of wrinkling going on in the shoulder area. Very nicely done. You can also see the stomach being pushed in a little bit by this front leg pushing into it. Same goes with the rear leg pushing up into the stomach. It is really beautifully portrayed there. You can see the hip bone and the very nice fine muscle tone of the thigh and calf region. Nice wrinkling going on in the joint of the rear leg. Beautiful foot sculpt of the rear leg as well, and the nicely painted nails. And then we run out the length of the tail. You can see all sorts of wrinkling going on there as well, and some more osteoderms and everything. So this Triceratops is fantastic. Even the underneath is just jam-packed with incredible sculpt work. Really beautiful skin texture and everything on the underneath as well. So awesome work on the part of Mojo Fun. If this Triceratops from Mojo Fun isn't impressing you, then I don't know what it would take to impress you, because I am really quite blown away by how beautiful this is, especially the sculpt in general, but the paint application as well. For a size from the tail to the tip of, the tip of the horn, we're looking at about 7.5 inches or about 19 centimeters. And for a height, the highest point would probably be the frill. You're looking at about almost 3.25 inches or about 8 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is the Papo T-Rex, and you can see that he is a good significant bit larger than this Mojo Fun Triceratops. Considering that everybody believes that Papo is one of the leading dinosaur figure companies out there, you can't dare deny how impressive this Mojo Fun Triceratops is, because it honestly looks like it is without question just as good when it comes to the sculpt as the Papo T-Rex is, so that's very impressive to me just how beautiful this new Mojo Fun Triceratops is, but this should help give you a good idea of its size. And for another size comparison, if you happen to have picked up the new Mojo Fun Tropeognathus, there he is taking a ride on the horns of the Triceratops, and again this should help give you an idea of the size of these figures together. I really think that the Triceratops in general is pretty much a perfect size for a Triceratops, so the choice of the smaller size compared to the much larger figures of last year I think really is a good choice, and this in general is a beautiful looking Triceratops. So that's 2 for 2 when it comes to the prehistoric releases from Mojo Fun this year. This Triceratops is just absolute majestic beauty in my opinion, and probably is one of my favorite Triceratops now that I have in my collection. It really is very, very nice looking. I think the pose overall is just fantastic. As I said, it kind of has that feeling that it charged up to maybe defend its group from a predator and just kind of slammed on the brakes and is just telling you, look, I'm ready to fight. And it kind of gives me that feeling. It's just kind of in a very defensive pose, like it's protecting something. So that's a very cool touch. Really nice to give the figure some character and some life to it and kind of give you a little bit of a story to the actual figure and pose overall. I think the sculpt as far as how the body is moving is really beautifully portrayed all over the place with very fine small detailing, and in general this thing is just loaded with sculpt and beautiful skin texture and very nice paint application as well. The paint application really looks very realistic, very genuine, and has kind of a dull coloration to it, not something bright and flashy, and that's probably what I would expect on a Triceratops, especially if you take this as being a female, because maybe the males may have had a little bit of color up on the frill, but even I don't really know. I just feel like maybe Triceratops is maybe a little bit of a duller coloration. I don't know why, I just always had that feeling. I feel like bright colors don't really look too good on Triceratops, so the color choice that they've done here is just fantastic. The majority of the head is a light brown with some darker browns and blacks mixed in. However, when you get to the body, it kind of runs along with that light brown and then transitions to an even lighter brown very naturally and very realistically in the legs, but then you also have a mixture of blacks and browns up on the top of the body, so there is a lot going on as far as paint application and skin tone, and in general this Triceratops looks very, very realistic due to how well it's been painted and sculpted. So Mojo Fun totally knocked this one straight out of the park. They did an incredible job on this Triceratops, and I am beyond impressed with this year's lineup so far. So if you do want to pick up this Triceratops for yourself, make sure you head down to the description, because I will include a link to where you can buy this guy on Amazon and enjoy him for yourself, or her, who knows, it may be a girl. Regardless, it is an absolutely fantastic Triceratops and I 100% recommend it, so check the description, follow that link to Amazon, buy this Triceratops for yourself, but don't forget to please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.